how to create a new project and gave you a brief rundown of the interface. In this video, we're going to start to add some controls to our interface. One thing I didn't show you was how to change the device that you're displaying. So this is how we're building our device here in this interface builder. From this bottom menu, I can select which type of device I want it to appear on. I can also change the orientation of it. So for example, I could pick iPhone 12 mini, iPad, etc. I have it selected on an iPhone 11, so this is what it'll appear as, but it may not be what I build it as. So at the top, we can select which type of device it gets built as. When I hit the Run button to build my project, a simulator will be launched, and this is basically a full iOS simulator. So this is a full, if I press the home button, I have full access to the full iOS operating system. So if you have multiple launching or you have larger, newer devices, it will slow down your machine significantly when you're building, especially with your students if they have some older machines. For now, we have nothing in our view, so it's not really displaying anything. If I go back to Xcode, I can press stop, and that will stop running for now. When I press build again, it will build that new version of the device. So from here, we're going to focus mainly on our interface and also this viewcontroller.swift, which is the link between our interface and our code. So we have our class declaration. We've called our file viewcontroller, and it's of type UI viewcontroller. Inside this, we have the viewDidLoad method. This is our main method. If you've programmed in Java or C or anything like that, this is our main method which everything is executed in as soon as our application launch. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to add in some controls to our interface. So I'm going to select my view controller, go to the Add button to access my object library. From here, I'm going to look for a view. And if you scroll down to the bottom, there is a plain view. I'll add this into my screen. This is where the color is going to be displayed. I'm then going to add in a switch. Okay, and I'm going to copy and paste this 3 times. So Command C, Command V. That didn't work. Command V. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3. These are going to be my red, blue, and green. And then I'm also going to have a button. Again, I can search these from the top and filter them out. And this button eventually will load a new view controller and it will display my color. Once we have this set up, inside my class, I'm going to create a new variable, which will be the color. By default, I'm going to set this to red. And then even though we have these items, so if I build my project now, I can't see this because it's white, but I have my controls which turn on and off, and I have a button which does nothing. So what we need to do is link this to our code. So in order to do that, we use IB outlets and IB actions. So first of all, let's make an IB outlet for our view. So I'm going to press the control button and I'm going to control and drag over inside my class. I'm not going on the outside, I'm going the inside of my class. And I'll let go. I want to choose an outlet. I'm going to give this a meaningful name just as you would with a variable. So my outlet will be called red switch. Oh, sorry. This will be my color view. Okay, so I have my color view. Now I have this color view, I can access the properties of it. So for example, in my main method, I could say color view dot background color equals whatever I set my color to. So now if I build my project, it should be set to my default color, which was red. So my default color is now red. Okay, we also want to create some outlets for our switches. So again, control and drag. This one will be my red switch. And I'm going to repeat this action for my other two. Control, drag. This one will be my blue switch. My next one will be my red switch. And by default, I'm going to switch all of these to off. Oops, I did red switch twice. Let's undo that. Sorry, my last one will be green switch. Let's try that again. Sometimes you will make this mistake. One way to check all of your outlets, if I select my view controller, and I click on this tab on the top right, I can see all of my actions here. So I've got a blue, green, and a green. So I've got two greens. So let's remove that one. Okay, so now I have green, I have blue, and my red one is not connected, so I can check these. Again, see here, I can see this one has hollowed out my red switch. So I have my view, my red switch, which is not linked, my blue, my green. So I can also drag the opposite way to link that. So now I have all three. So green switch, blue switch, and red switch. From here, I'm going to set the defaults for these switches. So I want them all to be off when we load up. So I can say red switch. I can access the property is on, and I can set this to false. I'm going to do this for my blue switch. And I'm going to set this for my green switch. So now when I build my project, I should have my default color set to red and all of my switches are off. The last thing that we're going to do is to create a IB action. So IB stands for Interface Builder, IB action for our button. So again, we can control and drag across. As long as it's inside the class, it's okay. So it won't let us put it beneath it, but I can put it here. We don't want an outlet, we want an action. And I'm going to call this BTN press. From here, we can set any actions that we want to happen when we press this button. So for example, I could say print test. When I run my application, okay, my buttons are working. If I press the press button, okay, we don't see any output here, but we do see output in our console, which appears inside our Xcode. And this is the end of this tutorial.